This is episode number 190 of the Homeowner Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Greg Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We're so glad that you could join us for another live episode of the Homeowner Show here in the Homeowner Show studios. How you doing, Kev?
I am a homeowner again. Woohoo!
Did you close today?
I closed yesterday. But I mean, I don't live in my house yet.
Yeah, you got nothing.
I got a 2-week lease back going on, but it's fine.
So in 2 weeks, you can move into the new casa.
Yes.
So
we're probably going to give it just maybe a week because we got some. We're gonna
get some stuff to do.
A couple of things to do, and plus it's just time frame and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
have your kids gotten attached to the confined quarters?
Oh yeah, they've kind of surpassed their whatever weirdness they had. And
they like each other again?
Yeah, they've basically figured out, okay, I get a new bed.
It's not an option to kill you, so I have to figure out how to live with you.
Well, my son did tell me one time that he really could not wait to get my baseball cards, and he said, it's not that I want you to die,
right?
But I do want those baseball cards. And I told him he can't have them until I die. So
funny you should mention that. My kids have really gotten into Pawn Stars.
Oh.
Are you familiar with that show on the History Channel?
Yeah.
So it's a really fun show. Like, people bring in like weird stuff and like they'll offer to buy it. Blah, 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 blah. So like my kids have now gotten in this habit of like, hey, Dad, what do you think that's worth?
No.
And it's like, it doesn't matter what it's worth. No. It doesn't belong to you.
That's right.
It's mine.
That's right.
And they're like, but what do you think I could get for it?
Exactly.
We're not pawning the stuff in the house.
Yeah. My son's got to the point where he's just asking me like, so how much did you pay for the house? How much did you pay for your excursion, Dad? How much was the Whataburger that we just bought?
He's got a running total on you, Bubba.
Does, man.
He's taken out of...
Yeah, and it's funny because like...
Has he invested in any term life insurance?
I hope so. Because he's going to need it, by goodness.
After this home purchase?
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
What do you get? You get the house.
You get the house.
That's it.
Right. That's it. Yep. So that's all that's going on with me right now, which it's just kind of a big like weight. It wasn't like heavy, but it was just, closing on a house is just one of those things. It's a lot of work.
Absolutely.
And so it's done. Excited about that. But what's up with you?
What's up with me? I have an official Homeowner Show PSA that I need to make.
Bring it.
So here's the thing. Well, let's cue the music because this is important.
Okay, I'm ready.
Guys, Sunday's coming.
It's coming.
Do you know what it is?
I hope so.
Sunday is Mother's Day.
Yes.
And if you are listening to this live right now, it is the final countdown.
You have
to get a gift. If you're listening to this now, when the show comes out on audio on Tuesday,
it's too late.
It's too late.
Way too late.
You failed.
Yep.
Get a Mother's Day gift now. Get one for your wife.
Yes.
Get one for your mom.
Yes.
Now is the time.
It is. And
Flowers.
any other moms that you know.
Yes. Just get them a gift.
All of them.
The time is now.
Yeah.
You have tomorrow, basically.
Yeah.
For them to not know what's going on.
Yeah, because Amazon is...
You can't get it here in time.
That's
you
right.
have to go to the store.
Yes.
It is the final moment where you can achieve marital bliss.
For the next year.
For the next year. It all depends on this Sunday.
That's right. Sunday.
Now's the time. So, PSA over.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I am more impressed with you than I've ever been.
That is the most preparation I've ever done for the show.
Yo, I know that's true. For sure.
So there you go. But if you're listening to the podcast on Tuesday when it comes out, sorry.
Yeah.
We tried.
We did all we could.
You should have followed us and listened to the live episode on
right.
Facebook or YouTube. So there you go. Your marriage could have been better, but now you've got 23 to look forward to. Subscribe to the show now, and we'll prepare you next year.
There you go.
So
good luck. Good luck.
And, send us a message. We might be able to help counsel you through 22.
Yeah, I mean, but that costs money. Like, we don't do that for free.
What, the counseling?
Yes.
Well, it'll be free, but it's not good advice.
Well, you get one or the other. You either get good not free advice or bad free advice.
That's right.
It's your choice.
You'll get plenty of bad free advice from us. Send us a message. We'll respond to it. But
Exactly.
I don't recommend that you do anything that we say.
Except to go get your mother a gift.
Yeah, that was
So
the
that you
one.
don't avoid all of this.
That's the one free one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we got a cool episode tonight.
Yes,
we've been hyping it up on the socials.
Yeah.
We got Cowboy Jack in the house.
Cowboy Jack.
What's going on, Cowboy Jack?
Not much, guys. How's it going?
Very good, man. Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, man, we're excited to have you on. Like, why don't you I think a lot of people who are joining us on the show tonight probably already know what you do, but why don't you go ahead and just let everybody know what it is that you bring to the table?
All right. So, I'm Cowboy Jack. My real name's John, by the way. Y'all can I'm cool if you call me just John.
Oh, cool.
But not Johnny.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Cowboy John doesn't sound very cool. So I go by Cowboy Jack. So we make a weekly educational show for kids. That's basically what it is. We're on YouTube and YouTube Kids. And basically the whole premise of the show is that we go around different places all over the state of Texas, and we try to show kids either, it could be something fun like a children's museum or a play place, something like that. But if it is one of those type places, we bring in an educational element to it. Like, so throughout we'll find, different letters that spell something, or we'll learn about different dinosaurs that we find, something like that. And then sometimes we go to really amazing places or really cool experiences. Like, one of my all-time favorite ones is one that we actually recorded with a pediatric dentist's office. And to me, that's really cool because we bring value to both the child and the parent.
Yeah.
Because like that first visit to a dentist's office can be it's pretty stressful. Like, so the dentist that we visited. Yeah.
The people sticking their giant hands in your mouth.
Thank you. So the dentist we filmed with is actually my big brother in real life.
Oh, nice.
He owns Georgetown, or he has a partner as well, but they own Georgetown Pediatric Dentistry in Georgetown, Texas.
He now owes us $10, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he takes checks.
Okay.
we have a rule about name dropping.
Sorry.
we do it all the time. Just to make people think we know people.
So,
That's really it.
but anyways, one of the things that we learned about the show that we make through making that is that, we have the ability to give kids an experience and a comfort level with something that's usually uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And also help the parents with, that's a huge icebreaker. Like, if you're going to take your kid to the dentist for the first time, you could show them our show where we go and we explain every step of the way, what's going to happen next, why they're doing this, what the tool they're using and all that. And it just helps the kid have a better experience and ultimately helps the parent have a better experience.
Yeah.
So,
wow. That's that's really cool. I mean, we tried to do our very best to make that first experience with our kids as good as it could be, and we failed. But it was because we chose a really poor dentist.
Well, you didn't have the Cowboy Jack show.
Exactly.
That's true.
How are we supposed to know? That's what we're doing. We're having to educate people about the education that you provide, which is awesome.
I have the distinct advantage of I am Cowboy Jack. So
That's true.
My son watches my show, and he actually just had his first dental visit this week, and he did fantastic.
Nice.
Pretty nervous about that going into it, but he did great.
It's like, does my show actually work?
Yeah, that was the true litmus test, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, so I guess the other question I'd like to ask, John, is how did you become Cowboy Jack? What did that derive from?
Yeah, that's a great question because, I mean, truth be told, like, I was the youngest in my family growing up. I wasn't around a lot of young kids. And so, like, when somebody would be like, hey, you want to hold my baby? Absolutely not. I'm going to break this thing.
Yeah.
Keep it away from me.
Yeah.
And that's just the persona I've had my whole life. And then when I had kids, it just, like, it immediately changes you. I mean, right?
Yeah.
So, like, now somebody's like, hey, could you hold my... Absolutely. Give me that baby.
Right. I've been waiting for you to ask.
But, no, I mean, I have a regular job. I'm a normal guy. I have a wife and 2 kids. And when our son was, he's about 3 or so, when the pandemic hit. And my normal job, I travel all around the country. I'm starting to do more of that now, finally. But for a long time, all that was completely shut off because of what was going on in the world. And so I was working remotely from home, having to do Zoom meetings and all that kind of stuff. And so we used the television as a babysitter. And my son, Caden, Cowboy Caden,
has he made an appearance on the show yet?
He's been on 3 now.
3 episodes.
In that case, that's $10 more.
Yeah.
We're doing quite well on this episode.
Do you have a spreadsheet going over there?
He's got a tally sheet. I saw it. It's really
Carry on.
So he got hooked on some shows that just were not, they're educational, they're fun, whatever, but they're really mega produced. They're very theatrical. And then so often these days, the kids' characters, they talk in a goofy voice the whole time.
Right.
And so he fell in love with this guy. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the guy. I don't have anything against him. But he just did like, hey, kids. Blah, blah. And so Caden's learning how to enunciate words and stuff. He starts to copy that guy. And I was just like, man, where's the Captain Kangaroo? Where's the Mr. Rogers of today? Because kids like the reality aspect of shows. Just like, the kids follow our interests.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all watching reality style shows.
Yes.
And so kids want that. And we literally, like the closest thing was like Coyote Peterson. Like that's he's not exactly what I want my son watching all day, but a lot of his stuff is really fun for kids too. So I just wanted something like, a mix of Mr. Rogers and Captain Kangaroo. Sorry, and I'm rambling a lot about this.
No, you're good. Carry on. This is great.
So we had bought a really good GoPro camera for the sake of recording our Christmas that year because Caden was finally old enough. He was going to be like opening presents in a fun way and everything. And I just told my wife, I was like, I can't take much more of this. Why don't you just, his favorite TV show, his favorite movie right now is Toy Story. He loves Woody. He loves cowboys. I've got this stuff. I didn't have the vest, but I had everything. I don't normally wear a vest.
Okay.
Nothing against people that wear vests, I guess. But it's just not my thing.
Well, it's not necessarily the cultural normative thing, even in Texas.
Yeah,
to wear leather vests.
Right.
Around.
Well, I got to tell you, if I could get away with it, I would wear one every day.
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. This thing is a portable heat stroke waiting to happen.
Oh, man.
You have no idea how hot this thing is.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's why I don't. It's because it gets so hot here. But like, if it was cool enough, I enjoy wearing them when it's just sort of a little brisk outside.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I dressed up like this, and we went out to the pond in our neighborhood down in Spring, and filmed an episode about fishing and showed it to Caden, and he loved it. So we showed it to some friends' kids, and they loved it. And next thing you know, we're making a show.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so did you guys have any experience in like television or editing or any of that kind of stuff?
Nothing at all.
Just kind of had to figure it out as you went.
Learning by fire. We actually learned by watching YouTube videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
The new university system.
Yeah.
It really is.
But hey, I feel like I can edit with the best of them now.
Yeah.
And my wife is actually the pro. I taught her how to do it, and now she does it 1,000,000 times better. So she's the brains of the operation.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how are you filming things?
So now, we still literally use a GoPro camera. It's got some modifications on it, but the GoPro camera is actually like when you look at cameras available on the marketplace, it has the best frames per second quality. And so we use that because it's an action style show where, I'm a slow moving guy. I'm not real action, but, we move around quite a bit, and that camera keeps up with us really well. It's handheld. It's the size of a business card.
Sure.
And my wife chases me around and films me, and we put out 4K quality. So I don't have any need to go to something.
So
more
do you
extreme.
use a gimbal? Like a gimbal?
Nope, you don't have to.
Oh.
GoPro has built-in stabilization.
Nice.
That's one of my big arguments about moving to a DSLR camera or something like that is because we don't have to use a gimbal.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, for those that don't know, a gimbal is one of those things that looks like you're like hanging like a floating
it's like a
blob
selfie
in the air. It basically makes the camera real smooth as you move it around.
Yeah, it keeps it at a constant. You can do a lot of things with a gimbal, but if you're moving around, it keeps whatever is focused on in frame.
Most people are more familiar with them off of drones because that's how drones get such smooth footage. They all have, the good ones have really nice gimbals on them.
Right.
Yeah. So, man, like one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, and mostly because I know that it fires up Kevin.
Are you going to talk about microwaves or sinks as
we can talk about microwaves. Everyone knows how much I hate microwaves.
Okay.
But No, like one of the big things in the news right now is Disney.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, everything going on with them, and there's a lot of stuff going on with them. One of the big things that came out with them recently is one of their producers came out and said, "Yeah, I'm sneaking stuff in here because I want to expose the kids to it."
Yep.
Yeah.
And like that video was exposed to people. Now, regardless of whether or not you think that that's right or that's wrong, here's someone trying to be sneaky with something with kids content.
Yeah.
And that makes people upset. And I know that a lot of people struggle with, I want the TV to be able to be a safe space for my kids, but I can't trust the content that's being put out. And so here you come along and it's like, well, I'm just going to create this really good content that I've watched your stuff. Like, you don't have any agenda. You're just like, I want to teach kids about this.
Yeah.
I want to teach kids about this. And it's nothing that's like political or, you know, sociological. I mean, like, it's just like how to go to the dentist, how to have good table manners. Here's a really cool park. I mean, like stuff like what Mr. Rogers would do.
Exactly. I mean, we try to keep it, and we do keep it 1,000% agenda free. I mean,
Right.
I could talk a lot about Disney and that whole scenario. But you know, do your own research. There's a lot of, there's a lot of information. That's a real thing.
Right.
It is. Yep.
And
We're both, and Craig and I are both Disney fans, but I'll tell you, we're becoming less Disney fans because, and which is weird for both of us to say because we love everything that Disney has been, but what they're winding up becoming has been frustrating recently.
And it's not that I don't want to shelter my children in any way, and I'm not against. You know, it's hard to talk about it. Like, it's hard. It's hard for me to put it to words without sounding like a horrible person, because I'm not a horrible person. No. But there's some things that need to be said there. Like, you know, I'm not against anybody's anything that they want to be.
Right.
You know, if you're a guy that identifies as a cat and wants to love goldfish, like, that's fine with me. Go love your goldfish, fish man.
Right.
I don't care. But the thing about it is, I don't want that pushed. Like, I just feel like the reference to sexuality in any way, shape, or form should be completely obscured from children's
Anything
content.
children.
My thing, so I'll say this and then I'll shut up about it because I could talk all night about this. There is such a precious, tiny amount of time that kids get to be kids. Mm-hmm. And then about 12 to 13 years old, the world starts hitting you like a freight train, and it never stops. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You grow up and you know, things change, but you get responsibilities and everything. Under that like 12-year-old mark, you're free of all of that stuff. That's your time to be young. Just be a kid. Yeah. Show up and have fun. That's all that's expected of you. And I feel like as a parent, I want to protect that innocence with every bit of my being. And that's what I'm about.
Yeah, and like, I think I get that from what you're doing with your content too, because like, you're not wanting to have even like a hint for the parents that might allow their children to watch it to ever fear that you're going to say something wonky.
Yeah, I mean, like, my thing is like, so, you know, you've heard the old, and I'm not crazy about where the verbiage comes from, but it's true. You know, it takes a village, right? And some people have a big village. Some people have a very small village. Mm-hmm. I want to be a part of that village so I can give parents a break to wash dishes or do laundry, pay bills, or sit on their butts, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's exhausting being a parent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know. Yep. you need that time to just, stare at the cell phone and mindlessly scroll for 30 minutes. Just give me 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And I want Cowboy Jack to be, you know, you don't have to be concerned about what's on there because it's just kids being kids. That's it.
Yeah. And part of the reason I wanted to have you on is I know that your show is massive. I mean, like I'm not like blowing smoke at you. Like you have a really big following on there, but you've had some struggles getting support for the show.
Yeah.
Not because the people that follow your show aren't supportive, but like some of the channels through which you could, you know, make a living off of it have been shut down.
Yeah, like, we have our platform is YouTube, and the reason our platform is YouTube because there's, you know, it's literally the largest search engine in the world. You can't ignore YouTube. It's a fantastic place.
Right.
But like, we average right now we're at like 4.1 million views a month and 290,000 hours a month. We just hit 1 million watch hours. That's the equivalent of if somebody started watching our show right now and kept it going for almost 115 years straight.
Sheesh.
That's insane.
It's crazy to me, right? So something generating that amount of traffic and that amount of watch time is a significant amount of revenue.
Right.
Like it's life-changing revenue. It's life-changing for us. I mean, it's life-changing for anybody.
Right.
It's upwards of a couple $100,000 a year. It's
Yeah.
significant. But we've been banned from the partner program on YouTube. So we're trying
Without no reason given.
Well,
right?
I mean, initially they gave us the reason of invalid click activity, and we've filed thousands of appeals. There's no explanation as to what invalid click activity means. They have their website that says, "Sorry, you're banned for life. Go click on this link and watch a video about it." That basically says, "Sorry, you're banned."
It literally says you're banned for life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And not only just me, it's me and my immediate family, which makes it that much more fun, right?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So, no, but we're trying to work through that. It's frustrating because this is truly like I feel like the passion of our lives. Like
Right.
we put so much effort into it, and we absolutely love making it. But I don't know.
Well,
I could talk a lot about that too.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, and sorry to try and problem solve live, but have you guys tried setting up like a clip channel?
What do you mean by that?
So sometimes I know some other guys that have had trouble with their monetization being shut down. And so what they'll do is they'll go through and set up a separate channel where it's just clips of the whole show, where it's like little bitty clips that then have link backs to the whole show.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that?
Yeah, and I had somebody way smarter than me, a guy that manages, some channels with upwards of 5, 7, 10 million subscribers.
Right.
Because our subscriber count isn't really representative of our
views.
traffic.
Yeah.
Because we're kids content.
Sure.
On YouTube Kids, that subscribe button is teeny tiny.
Yeah.
And we don't expect kiddos to hit that like they would on a normal channel.
It's not their subscription anyway.
Right. It's through the parents. So, I've worked with a guy that manages those channels for, A-list celebrity type folks, and trying to, work magic to get it to happen. And we just continually hit roadblocks. So
That's crazy, man.
it's, it's frustrating, but,
I mean, honestly, I've watched your content. I think Kevin's watched your content.
Yeah.
You have. I mean, I can't think of a single reason why it would be or shut down.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of,
I almost said the word.
Yeah, don't say the word. So, I mean, I am a cowboy, I got my hat here with me tonight. Hey, kids, don't laugh at my hair. Kids aren't supposed to be watching. That's a thing we do on the show. But, there's a million different things it could be. I mean, we made an episode. I mean, there's a lot of ideals that I do have that are evident in the show. Just like anytime you see a first responder, whether that be EMS, police, fire, all those guys, you tell them, hey, thanks for doing what you do.
Right.
Because that's how I was raised. And I feel like that sentiment has been lost over the years.
Sure.
There's a lot of, turmoil in that world and whatever. But, you can think whatever you want to think. But when something bad happens, who do you call?
Right.
And so whenever you see those guys that are putting themselves on the line, we always make sure to say thanks. And so we've said that a few times on the show. So it could be that. I got a lot of hate mail over my episode we made with Montgomery County Precinct 3 Sheriff's Office.
Really?
Yeah. And that
Why? Or did they give a specific reason, or were they just being
my favorite email I got about it was it was a lady that said, you should not be supporting police officers, you should be promoting therapists instead. And this was when we were still pretty small.
Yeah. And
I didn't really know I was going to be kind of a public figure in this. So I said what I felt. And I said, I'm sorry you feel that way. If someone ever breaks in your house, I hope they can get a therapist there for you very quickly.
Oh, that's good.
So, but now I tone my responses back. I always try to be, and that's one thing I do pride myself on. If somebody asks me a question, I answer them. I stay up late at night on Facebook. My wife will tell you, we argue about that a lot. I spend way too much time on social media responding to people. I want to be
accessible.
Yeah. And that's like a cool thing about it. Like, I can't tell you how many birthday shout outs we do. Like, that's my favorite part of the thing. Cause like, cool, I can actually make a kid happy with something I say. That's like, awesome.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. It takes 3 seconds. I mean, the hardest part is making sure I got a shirt clean in the vest. But, that's it, you know?
That's good. Well, so
which by the way, if Wrangler is listening, we need to hook this dude up.
Guys, everything I wear is Wrangler. I mean, the vest isn't. They don't make a vest. But the shirt, the jeans,
we gotta hook them up.
There's absolutely no reason you shouldn't get paid by Wrangler at least.
Come on, Wrangler.
To sponsor at least to like some free clothes.
Is there a brand of boots you're wearing every time?
I'm wearing Ariat boots.
Okay, there you go.
Good for you.
You know, because the Ariat brand I find are the most comfortable for your feet, especially when you're doing an action style show.
Yeah.
Preach.
And they're breathable
Yes.
with this unbelievable mesh on the side.
Yeah.
So I always support Ariat. Wink.
I'm wearing a pair right now, if I don't mind saying so.
All of the pairs that I wear are Ariat.
Are they?
I've got like 3 other pair that are Justin's, and I don't wear them because they're not comfortable.
Well, let me say this: my wife did not grow up country.
No.
Right? She has evolved over the years, the 16 years that we have been happily married. And she is an Ariat junkie now.
Oh yeah.
Like she'll come in every once in a while and she's like, I found another pair online.
I'm thinking that might wind up, now that we have some land, I'm thinking that my wife is going to wind up with some too, and I'm loving it.
She's like, they don't even fit the kids, but they will eventually. I'm going to go ahead and get them.
They're just so comfortable.
They are, man.
Well, are you aware of who developed Ariat?
No, I'm not.
It was some. Are you?
No, I'm not. No, I don't know the story.
So it was a female lady that she worked for Reebok, but she rode horses, and she was like, it's so frustrating because
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, she was like, I just hated getting, coming home and having to put on my boots after wearing Reeboks every day. They were so comfortable, and then I get on my horse and it's just, these are horrible. And so she developed Ariat to be a boot that you could run in. Like that's really kind of how that came about.
Let me say this, as a horse person, all the other boots suck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like being like hyperbolic. I mean, like at all. Like no other boot makes a good riding heel. And horse people out there know exactly what and yes, I know that there are like custom boot makers out there that do that. But like as far as like commercial boot makers, everyone else sucks. Like no one makes a good riding heel anymore. And they're all like, and everything else is like in the dressing on the side that you're supposed to tuck your pants into. And like, I hate those.
Yeah.
Like there's no point to that to me whatsoever. I'm not looking to like wear
neck.
A show boot.
Who cares about the neck?
I need to stay in the saddle.
Unless it breathes, right?
Yeah.
Once it breathes,
Guys,
wink.
I have my boots tucked in right now.
Yeah, I can see.
It's for the show. It's for the show. It's part of the costume.
If that's your thing, man. Like, but like if that's the only
I don't
point
do it.
of the boot,
Yeah.
like I'm out.
It's not my everyday thing. It's when I'm Cowboy Jack, Sometimes I'll forget, like we'll be driving somewhere. Like we've filmed a lot, like in College Station, and I'll go ahead and tuck my boots in before we leave the house, and we stop to get gas or a drink or something. And I'll get out not remembering that my boots are tucked in. And I'll have these guys out in, Caldwell, Texas, like looking at me like, boy.
What?
And I'm like, dude, I'm making a kid's show, okay? Don't judge.
Right. I'm trying to be funny. Is it working?
Look, I'm not trying to look extra country. I know this isn't country. It's for the kids.
He's going, hey, you got pearl snaps on too.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting show.
Yeah.
Cowboy Jack gets in a scrap. And
Yeah. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. Cowboy Jack's not the best fighter. Big tree fall hard,
Big tree fall hard. Oh, man. Well, I would say, though, if you're looking for a pair of boots, don't even try anything else. Just go with Ariat.
So there are. I mean, like people will go to Justin's, Twisted X. I mean, like there's other brands out there.
Yeah.
Like whatever fits your foot, but like, man, like if you're riding, I can't. I mean, and then for like comfort, I'm the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I wear my boots a lot if I'm not wearing shorts. A lot of times I'm wearing boots, and it's because my Ariats are so comfortable.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
They just are.
For sure.
So
We kind of went off the rails.
a little bit. A little bit.
So Reebok, yeah, that's really cool. Huh?
Exactly.
I like the story.
We need to get this lady's name. I want to talk to her.
Okay.
You're going to set that up?
I'm gonna look up her name
You're
right
going to
now.
look up her name. Okay.
Yeah. Ask another question.
Ask it. You brought it up.
Well, that's all I got though. I got nothing else.
All right. So what has been like? I know you just did a crazy episode with Lifelight, but like, what have been some of your favorite episodes? And how many have you done so far?
Oh, I mean, we try to stick to putting one out every single week, and we hit the year anniversary back in March. I mean, of course, we did miss a few weeks like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
So you've got around 50 episodes out?
I think we have about 60 now.
Oh, really? Okay.
My absolute favorites would be obviously The Dentist. We shot one with ESD 11. If you don't know who that is, that's Emergency Services District. It's the ambulances and the paramedics for Harris County District 11.
Okay, so one of the EMTs that you visited that day actually sent me a message today. It was like, "Hey, you're having him on the show? He was at our station."
Which one was it? Was it?
Her name's Anna.
Oh yeah. I saw that. So that was that. I mean, that episode was unreal because, like I said, that was cool because we're teaching kids. You know, they see ambulances a lot,
Right.
and they never get a chance to take a close look at them unless they go to like a touch-a-truck. But if your kids are like my kids, you wait in line forever at a touch-a-truck to go inside there, and then the second it's their turn, they lock up.
Yep.
And won't go inside. So we take a look at all the the tools and equipment they have inside the ambulance, and then but we also meet the paramedics and talk about what they do every day, so that if a kid does have to encounter paramedics, and God forbid, but a lot of kids will,
Right.
and so that they can focus on what hurts on them, not the scary things going around them, because it's actually not scary.
Right.
So that was a really cool one. That was an impactful episode, and its views are reflective of that. We actually, I try to do everything in Texas, but we went to Florida to the Destin area, Miramar Beach,
Yeah.
Okay.
as a family, and we recorded a sandcastle lesson with Sandcastle rock stars over there.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was the first one that my son was in, and he was like 3 at the time, and he just killed it, man. He was on fire. Dude. And I love it. That episode just hit 1 million views today.
Oh my gosh.
And, that one was a lot of fun.
And Destin's pretty.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Look, don't get me wrong. Nowhere better than the world than Texas.
Sure.
But if you want to go play in the sand, it's
Yeah.
hard to beat.
Yeah.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
That kind of Okaloosa Island, Destin area is some of the best beaches in the world.
Oh, man. It's
they're
unreal.
amazing.
Unreal.
Yeah, I grew up around Cocoa Beach, which is on the Atlantic side.
Oh, okay.
And so when we moved to Texas, I think I was like 12 or 13 or something, and we were going to a church, and the youth group was like, "Hey, we're going to go to the beach this weekend." And I was like, "Yes, thank you, finally." And so they took us down to Galveston, and I was like, "This is horrible.
Yeah.
Why are we playing in the mud?
This is not a beach.
Right.
This is a sad brown water."
Yeah.
And I get it. Like Galveston's nice. Don't get me wrong. Like I come to appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to dog on Galveston, but like coming from where I was at to this, everyone was like all hyped up to go to the beach.
And
I was
really,
like,
I mean, it's just different because the sand is different over
Yes.
there, and also the way the Mississippi flows into the Gulf around
Yep.
New Orleans,
Yep.
and the currents literally just bring it right to us.
I mean, it's like the armpit of the ocean.
But the water. I'm not saying the water's dirty. It's just it's muddy.
It is what it
Yeah.
is. I mean, it's just the way the currents work and the way it kind of wraps around that Texas-Mexico border area.
Yeah.
It does what it does.
yeah.
So
Are you a master sandcastle builder now?
I am. I'm certified in 7 states now. No,
Wow.
I'm just kidding. That's impressive. No, we had a great time with it. It was really cool.
How big of?
We didn't go crazy with it. We kept it basic so that kids could try to recreate it.
Okay.
When they go down there, and it was cool because we had a lot of folks, try to recreate what we did. We made some towers and stairs and stuff.
Okay.
It was fun. I'm trying to think of some of our other favorites.
Did you say you went to the aquarium place over on Beltway 8?
Houston Interactive Aquarium. Yeah.
Did you guys do an episode there?
Yeah, we did. That one was ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
The views aren't as good. I think it's a function of I love making animal episodes. Like I
Right.
love animals. they're fun to film with. Like I had a lemur sitting on my cowboy hat on that one. Like it was unreal.
Dude, the lemur experience there is crazy.
Yeah. Like I can't believe that you can just go in there with some lemurs.
And
Like
sit down and hang out with them.
and they were cool. Like I was petting one like a cat while one was climbing on my head. Like it was one of the coolest. Like
But 2 fingers.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is exactly right.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah.
So, and if
Did you finally go, Kev?
No, I didn't go.
Oh,
I just saw pictures.
You saw,
and
okay, you saw our
videos.
stuff.
But I was sitting there going, why is Craig's wife being so weird with the 2 finger thing? And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's a thing,
It's like
'cause-
it's weird, but it is.
apparently, if you go full pet on them, it's too much stimulus.
aggressive.
for 'em. And they can bite. They have teeth. You know.
Well, yeah.
Those ones. I mean, those ones are well handled. You know, they're
Yes.
well taken care of, well handled. So, but that episode was ridiculous. But like, I love making animal episodes, but our animal episodes don't do as well.
That's weird.
And I think it's just because there's so much animal content out there for kids.
Probably.
That they would rather see us, jump in a helicopter or something like that.
Sure.
So that brings me, I guess, to my next question is, where do you come up with your content ideas?
We literally, I mean, a lot of it comes from our fan base now that we're growing and everything. Like we just filmed one with Memorial Hermann Life Flight.
Nice.
That was actually a fan's kiddos were watching the show. I mean, he's so the flight nurse that we filmed with, his children watched the show.
Oh.
And his wife had messaged me real early on and said, "Hey, my husband is a flight nurse for Memorial Hermann Life Flight, and that'd be awesome if you did an episode with her." And we were like, "Yeah, that would be awesome. Let's do it." And we just got busy and forgot about it. And I think they tried a few people there, and it didn't go anywhere. Well, I actually ran out. I didn't know I ran into her, but I ran into somebody at the Montgomery County Fair that stopped me and was like, "Hey, you're Cowboy Jack," and I wasn't in costume, so I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever." And so, but she was like, "My husband's a flight nurse, and I want to get you out there," and she made it happen. So
Dude, that's awesome.
So we get ideas from our fan base. We get a lot of ideas from my son.
Yeah.
What he's into. He likes right now he likes really fast cars. So I'm trying to think of some fast cars. We got close to some fast cars recently, but it's stuff that I know my kid and his friends will be interested in. And of course, like we get a ton of people, like we're at that point now where people reach out to us and say, "Hey, we have this. Would you want to come film?"
Yeah.
And most of the time it's really cool stuff. We've had some strange ones come, like, "Hey, do you want to come film our tattoo shop?" Not that I'm not against a tattoo shop, but it's not good content for kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a lot. There's not just a ton of kids lining up at the tattoo shop.
In 12 years, you can get one of these.
But we did. But I had a piercing place reach out to me, and I thought, we might want to revisit that because that's something that, every little girl wants her ears pierced, and it's a scary experience. Maybe we could help them with that. That's I forgot about that. Thanks for making me think of that.
Would you get your ears pierced for the show?
No, I would not.
Okay.
I would watch somebody do it. I don't have anything against having ears pierced. I just
Not your thing.
not my thing.
So
I'm scared of
let's talk about ear piercing for just a moment. So my daughter has her ears pierced.
How old is she?
She is 9, but she got them pierced when she was 5 or 6.
Okay.
She went and did the whole experience at the little girl boutique place. And
You didn't do it yourself?
No. But interestingly enough, so she's also into American Girl dolls.
Right.
Okay.
Which one?
Oh, she's got 1 or 2 of them. I don't know.
Okay.
She's got Blair, I know, and she wants the new one. The new one's actually kind of cool. She's got like a ski outfit. Anyway, so
the new gal has a ski outfit.
yes.
Okay.
So
So
anyway,
make sure I'm tracking right.
doesn't really matter. We went to the American Girl doll store in Houston recently just because she wanted to. And
That's a thing?
Oh my goodness, it's a thing.
You have like a whole
No,
store?
wait, dude. Yes,
I think they
have-
just put one in the Woodlands
there's-
actually too.
did they
Really?
Did
So,
they really?
I think so.
Well, that's good information. But we went
He's
to
like,
the
I
one.
just drove way too far.
Yeah, exactly. We went when we were in New York. We went to the one there, and it's like 3 stories. It's unbelievably huge and massive, and they've got all these things. Anyway, one of the things you can do at these American Girl doll stores is you can get your doll's hair done. Like you can, like they'll do different styles, and you can actually, some places you can get your hair done like your girl, all those sorts of things. Well, one of the things they can also do is pierce the American Girl doll's ears, and they can pierce your ears there as well.
That's
And I'm sitting there going, it is a whole, like, now the American Girl dolls actually have, like, dolls that are little bitty, because your American Girl doll is basically like you, and you're carrying around your American Girl doll, so she has to carry around her American Girl doll as well. It's like this whole, it's a whole big, massive, huge thing. It's honestly, here's the thing, I kind of love it. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty awesome.
The first thought that came to my head is this is extremely misleading.
Why is that?
Because I would imagine any little girl that goes in there and the lady who's piercing the ears goes, well, who wants to go first? She's going to go, well, let the doll go first. Yeah. Well, that didn't seem to hurt.
Exactly. She didn't scream at all. Yeah. She really took that like a champ.
And then she goes in and she's like, holy.
It's one of those, it's kind of a big deal.
And then it becomes a really big problem because now she doesn't trust the doll.
Oh, yeah. Doll resentment. I think that's a real thing, right?
It
is now.
You know, my main takeaway from this is that I have so much to learn. I'm new to the girl world.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just about to ask, so you've got your son, and he likes a bunch of things, obviously.
Right.
Because he's active boy. We have active boys as well.
Yes.
And you have active girl too.
Yes.
I don't have active girl, but I do have a girl. But I'm kind of curious, like the girl content, is that something that you feel like you've done well with, or is it something that you feel like you need to do better about? I'm just kind of curious.
No, I mean, I don't know. So like, you know, everything that we've done is kind of, you know, I think it would interest both boys and girls.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the way I try to keep it, is that it's relevant to, you know, both boys and girls. But like me as a parent, I am brand new to the girl world. I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and
Congrats.
I'm thank you. I'm one of 4 sons. So and my girl experience is nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, just wait.
yeah.
I mean, it's like the most awesome thing
right
ever.
now, like
girls are awesome.
My big stress, and my wife has been talking about recently, is like we need to buy more rompers for her. And rompers for me as a dad are a home run, because I don't have to worry if the pants and the shirt
exactly right.
match.
Yeah, it's
That's right.
full
It's
outfit.
a full. I said, let's go online. Let's see if we can find her some rompers.
That's right. I like
It's
this.
amazing. Yeah. Love you, babe.
No, the rompers are great because if you end up with a little girl like mine, you're lucky if she's wearing anything at all.
Nice.
Well, because you can put it on, but it might come off very quickly.
It might come off, yeah.
Exactly.
But like you're not, but like when it does come off, you're like, they're not going, where's the pants? Where's the shirt?
That's right.
It's one thing.
One thing. I mean, but of course, you then got to find the diaper too. You're like, uh-oh.
Things are about to happen.
This could go real bad. This could be real bad.
Oh, man. Well, so let's see. We've talked about how you got things started, favorite episodes. What else? Like,
Well, no, I want to go back to did you get to actually ride in the helicopter?
No, we didn't. There was like so I didn't know this, but the helipad in the Texas Medical Center at Memorial Hermann is one of the. I mean, it's a level 1 trauma center.
Right.
It's actually the busiest civilian helipad in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So like every couple of minutes we were hearing a horn, we had to, you know, move out of the way because there's something coming in.
Okay,
It was
slow down, Houston.
It was really.
Golly.
But what they do is amazing. I mean, and it's not just like, you know, horrible accident, guy coming in, horrible, you know, gunshot wound coming in. It's not all that too. Like
Right.
they do a lot of stuff, like they move blood very quickly when it's necessary.
and organs and
I mean, we didn't talk about organs, but I think they do that. And it just, and like if they have critical transport, like if somebody needs to go from hospital X to hospital Y that's in a critical state, you know, you don't want them to get stuck in traffic for a while. So they do that. And they have to move specialty equipment around from hospital to hospital, and helicopters the easiest way.
See, that's one of the things that I think is kind of interesting about like Craig and I do this podcast, right? And we talk to contractors. I promise you, I am so much smarter than I used to be because I'm talking to all these people that are really, really smart in their field.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you're finding a lot of that to be true as well.
So like my big aha moment that I had from making the show, and y'all, everybody I asked this already knows, so maybe I was just living in La La Land. I had no idea that fire trucks hold water in them.
Oh,
okay. Like
Y'all-
they actually had like a tank in them.
You both knew that, didn't you?
well, not all of them do. I don't think all of them hold water.
No,
do
not
they?
not all of them, but the
many of them
majority.
do.
of
The majority of it. Yeah, a lot of
so
them
it's like
do.
a swimming pool on wheels.
Yeah.
I had no idea that. So like for me, like all this stuff we're doing is legitimately fun. Like
Yeah.
at 37, I've found a cool way to express my natural
Nice.
curiosity and goofyism. You know.
Well, so if you really want to explore it and like own a piece of it, there's a fire truck for sale just down the road here. I'm not kidding. Have you ever seen a fire truck for sale?
I didn't know this was a plug for your fire truck you're selling.
This is your Craigslist,
I
Kevin.
was about to say, and I've seen it, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Boy, if you want to talk about beautiful red paint, I'll tell you what.
No, but have you seen it?
No.
No, if you're heading into Montgomery on 105, just past the subdivision that we just moved out of.
Okay.
On the left, there's this little place that has random things. They got boats and ATVs, and they got some cars every once in a while.
Oh, is it the place on the left?
Yes, right there on the left.
I know what you're talking
And
about. They
there
have
is
all kinds of weird stuff in there.
Yes, they do. And there is a fire truck right there. And I'm sitting here going, anybody can own a fire truck? Like, how cool is that? I mean, like, can that help with your insurance? Can you be like, look,
If there's a fire,
We're carrying water.
The fire station is in my
look,
yard.
You're triggering me, man. Because you know that we had that bad fire here a few
Yeah.
years back.
Yeah.
That was not caused by me.
No, but hey, but look, you can
I feel some the air just changed in here. It's kind of weird.
got hotter, really.
Yeah, it did.
Weirdly
Yeah.
hotter,
Like a
ironically
fire's
harder.
going.
I was getting the hands in the air. I
I don't know. But,
Well, explain it to the 50 firemen on the property right now.
Jeez.
but here's the deal:
Uh-huh.
you can now own a
would be
problem
cool.
solver.
Yeah.
So-
Dude, so I actually watched a show recently where a guy bought a old fire truck and then he had it restored. And I saw the price tag on getting it restored.
Oh,
I'm
I
out.
can't imagine.
I'm out.
This one actually looks like it's in really good
Like
shape.
I think he paid like $30,000 just for the fire truck, and then it cost him like another $27,000 just to like restore it to like working order. Those things are expensive.
See, the thing
there's
is-
so many like moving parts and like the water tank. Like you got to have a pump and you got to have like
A lot of pumps, a lot of gauges, a lot of devices and instruments.
yeah.
And then
People don't realize how like complicated like that system is in order to like put out fires.
and then you have this fully restored fire truck that
Right.
you've spent all this money on.
what are you gonna do with it?
What do you?
Well, see, that's the thing. Is like, and I'm
It's
sitting here going,
I need one fire.
I'm like, why?
Somebody
Why
come
would
on.
they have a fire? Someone decided to get rid of this fire truck, which means it's probably not working well.
yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I'm
But
just,
actually, let me back up here because this is actually valuable information
Okay.
for homeowners. That now that I'm
let us be the judge of
I'm
that.
getting over the PTSD of my fire at my property. So we ended up with fire trucks in the pasture, pumping water out of the trucks, putting the fire out. And so when I'd gotten a phone call like, hey, there's a fire on your property. And I was like, oh my gosh, my house is gone. Like,
Yeah.
so I rushed home. And it's brush fire in the pasture. None of the buildings were affected. I think the backside of the pool house got a little bit of charring on it, but it's no big deal. So like I'm on the 4-wheeler and I'm rolling around going like, hey, what's going on? Can I help? What do you need? Like I'm the property owner. Like, help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey guys, there's a fire hydrant right there at the front of the property. I mean, like, why aren't you using that? And they're like, oh, we tried to. It doesn't have enough water pressure.
What?
Yeah. And like they installed that fire hydrant right after we bought this property. So it was like around 7 years ago.
I mean, aren't those things like supposed to be tested and
Yes.
monitored
Yes.
and all of that?
Yes. And like we actually got a reduction in like our homeowners insurance because we had a fire hydrant out
That's what
front.
I'm talking about.
And so I was really mad.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so so this thing does nothing.
Right.
It's literally like lawn ornament that provides me with no protection. Just a big giant metal thing in my yard. Thanks.
So how do you find out if your fire hydrant is worth anything?
You get a fire.
Well, that's not a good way.
No.
I would prefer another option. What's option B, Craig?
I don't know.
I've opened one up before. I don't recommend it.
No.
Well, they said like they were like water came out of it, but like it just wasn't enough pressure
Enough
to get.
pressure.
You get anything
And I would
going?
think they could connect that to the truck though, and then use the booster pumps on the truck. I mean, I'm not a fireman.
I don't know.
I'm a cowboy who's been with a fireman who
Right.
knows all these things.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
So
I'll
anyway.
ask my brother-in-law, who is a fireman. I will ask him why, or how do you know?
How do you know?
Like why, or anyway, there's lots of questions.
I mean, like,
have right
like
now.
if you had one in your front yard, I think you would have the expectation, like, if there was a fire, I could potentially expect for water to come out of that thing.
Sure.
that
To
would be
help-
rational.
To help put out the fire quickly.
Right.
There has to be some sort of, the fireman.
Right.
I'm sure you can ask them for an inspection of some kind or something. There has to be.
Or like maybe like put a flag on it. I don't know.
A flag.
Faulty
is
hydrant.
This is a red flag fire hydrant. This is an orange flag fire hydrant. They all mean something different.
But also, if you didn't know, I mean, like you can petition your homeowner's insurance to get a reduction in your rate if you have a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Like within so many feet of your house.
Right.
So it's
Well, I mean, that's one of the things that's one of the reasons beyond a lot of things that your insurance needs to know how close the closest fire station is for that very reason. So
yeah,
it just is the way it is.
So anyway,
now I will ask my question. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you're like, man, we should really talk about that?
Yeah, put me on the spot.
I know. Just wait.
I don't know. I mean,
there's more coming.
There's more.
I don't know. I'm gonna need y'all to ask me questions. I can't think of anything that we haven't covered. I mean, we've covered a lot of things. The one thing that I try to encourage. I mean, just you guys try to encourage too. I'm sure is whenever you're watching content that you enjoy, whether it be on YouTube or a podcast, anything, hit that subscribe button because that really does help.
Yeah. Doesn't cost you anything either.
Yeah, I mean, so Cowboy Jack doesn't make money off of the show, but the more people look at that when I'm trying to film somewhere, they say, okay, well, what's his stats?
Right.
And they look at my subscriber count. They look at, and I have to tell them, hey, here's my views, here's my watch hours. And that'll blow them away. But my subscriber count isn't representative of what we do because it's content for kids. I think we already talked about that.
Right.
But, any kind of content that you're enjoying and patronizing and watching and liking it, make sure to hit that subscribe button because it helps creators in such a crazy way.
Yeah, I mean, because if you want that content to continue,
Yeah.
I mean, Craig and I, we talked about this earlier. We don't make as much off this show nearly as
people think that we do.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
Yeah.
We really do it because we like to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and literally we've been out here almost 200 episodes because we want to do this. And a lot of content creators do that, but there comes a point for a lot of them at which you have to weigh the cost. And both the dollar cost, but also the time and the commitment and all of the things, right? So if you want that content to continue, you really do need to support them. And one of the best ways you can support them is just show other people that you're willing to support them, which would allow them to want to sponsor it. There's lots of different ways, but you just clicking the subscribe button makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't put a value on word of mouth.
No.
Right. So like if you really enjoy something or your kids really enjoy something or even, your mom enjoys something, it's a gardening show, talk about it.
Sure.
This is, I mean, we're in the world of, we're all three guys that enjoy creating content.
Yeah.
And we're putting our heart and soul into it. I mean, I see all your equipment here makes my equipment look like Mickey Mouse. I mean, I envy you that you sit still and have a microphone right here that sounds great, but like I fight audio on the daily, right?
Yeah, right.
And but like we put our heart and souls into this, and so it's at some point, you do expect like you do work, you reap some benefit from it. That's the hard part for us. But like, when people ask me, well, if you're not getting paid, why do you keep going? Well, it's because we get those messages from moms and dads, and you asked me if we could talk about something that we hadn't covered.
Sure.
One thing that happened to us that I never expected in a million years, and I have no background in whatsoever, is our content is really useful to these special needs and learning disability communities.
Interesting.
Like I don't have a child that's on the spectrum or any learning disabilities or anything like that. I mean, we of course are but since we started the show, just because, I mean, this is the voice that Cowboy Jack uses on the show.
Sure.
Right. So it's just my normal voice. And, I try to be energetic sometimes, but I'm a pretty slow moving fella. I don't move around too quick. And so what we've found is like, the spectrum community, the communities of parents and teachers and caregivers and all those that are dealing with autism and kids on the spectrum, they find the show incredibly useful. Team Awesomeism is an online academy that's it's in the process of starting up. Lynn, the director of that, and her son are starting this academy, this online learning academy for actually autistic adults and autistic kids too. But the focus is kids on the spectrum and adults on the spectrum. And they reached out and say, can we use your content on it? You want to use my content?
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what it's there for.
And that's a huge, like, cause I've always had a big heart for that community. It's obviously, raising kids is already hard enough.
Yeah.
But you throw in, some challenging situations into that, it gets even harder. And so the fact that our show can play a helpful role in that just blows me away.
Yeah.
And we've had, can I tell you something else too?
Sure, please.
I got to brag about Cowboy Carter. Like, I don't know if y'all follow us enough to know what that is, but, so like when we first got started, I had these really sweet people up in Athens, Texas, reach out and say like, oh my God, our grandson loves your content. And, he's having a birthday. Could you make him a birthday shout out? And so we did. And his name was Carter. He's about, my son's age, a year younger, I believe. Yeah. And so, we did that, and we've stayed in touch with them just because they're ridiculously cool people. One side of the family, the grandparents have a place that's a bakery, a sweet shop there outside of Athens, and then the other folks have this awesome piece of property. And I know this whole family. Like I know the parents, the grandparents on both sides. Like they're awesome. Cream of the earth type people. And we've stayed in touch, and she reached out to me, Gigi, Shelly, hi. She reached out to me back in like September, October timeframe and said, hey, Carter's not feeling too good. Could you make him a get well video? And so, of course, we did. And then right around Thanksgiving, she said, well, Carter's been diagnosed with diffused B-cell lymphoma.
Oh, my goodness.
So this little cowboy had cancer.
Wow.
And we literally, we got to be there not physically be there. I mean,
right.
He was battling cancer during the time of the pandemic.
Wow.
He really didn't get to see anybody. But sending him videos and stuff and getting to interact with him, and we FaceTimed with him, and I just got to talk to him. I think it's been about 2 weeks ago now. Shelly, his Gigi, FaceTimed me and Cowboy Kate and my son FaceTimed with Cowboy Carter, and he's cancer free now. So
praise God.
To me, man, that was incredible, and we need to hurry up. They've offered to let us come up and film a fishing thing with him. And to me, that's going to be so cool. Cause this, we've made 2 fishing episodes. I never catch anything. That's not the focus of it. That's not the point. I know how to catch fish. I don't like to brag, but at one time I did hold a state record. No big deal.
Okay. I think I held the state record too for the longest without fishing, but it's fine.
I held a ridiculous state record.
Nice.
When I was in college, they opened up catch and release records for the first time in the state, and I was the first person to submit a long-nosed gar. So by default, I had the record.
You had it.
Until somebody went out and caught a real fish. Destroyed me.
Nice.
But anyways, I'm so excited to go up and fish with him. Now we've kind of it's a little bit too hot outside, but we still need to do it. But man, those folks are just the cream of the earth. And we connect with those type of people. And that's why, people, are you going to keep doing it? Well, yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
You're
making a difference.
I feel like I'm making a difference, and I've connected with these kids, and I just somebody, Elizabeth Harvey, one of my fans that lives in San Marcos. I talk to her a lot. She's really cool. Forget where I'm going with this. Oh yeah. So I posted that we filmed with Lifelight, and she commented, I remember her comment specifically, because she was like, one day one of your fans is going to grow up to save lives working on Lifelight.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, that would be the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'd ever connect those dots, but I'm going to pretend like it's going to happen.
Oh, it will. Well, there's going to be some kid, years down the road, who's going to reach out to you and say, because you did this
X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
I am who I am today because of that. I have no doubt that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
it could be years just because you're not that old in Cowboy Jack yet. I mean, it takes time for these kids to grow up.
And see, you opened up a can of worms because you asked me if there's anything we didn't talk about, and
I like worms.
I went mute for a minute, and now I've got all these things. But this came up recently in a conversation I was having with a future shoot. I won't tell you what it is because I have to keep it secret. But we try to feature a lot of skilled trades on the show, and that's y'all talk a lot about skilled trades.
We do, yeah.
I mean, all the contractors and all the work and specialty stuff that's going on as a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
I like to talk about and showcase skilled trades because when you're growing up, you have exposure to like, police, firemen, teachers, what mom and dad do and stuff like that. But you don't get to see some of these other, lines of work.
Right.
And there's so much in the world that says everybody should go to college. And there's so many kids that, that doesn't fit what they want to do.
Yeah, doesn't fit their personality.
Sure.
All the different
And truth
reasons,
be told, if this world doesn't spark some more interest in skilled trades, we're all going to have crumbling roofs and
you are
clogged toilets.
You're pushing a button for Craig over here. You're pushing a button. It's a good button that needs to be pushed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we agree.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I think there's a ton of people that agree.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, kids always assume, okay, well, you graduate high school, you got to go to college. Well, you can go out and be a pipeline welder and make,
bukus of money,
crazy amounts of
well,
money.
And you got people like my brother-in-law who's a firefighter right now. He made a 33 in his ACT when he was a sophomore in high school. Super smart dude, and went to college and was horrible at it because he didn't go to class.
Yeah,
and he didn't go to class because he could read the book and go in and make 100 on the test. It was not challenging for him. It was not interesting to him, and he immediately went out and became an electrician. Did that for years, and now he's a firefighter. He's one of the smartest people I know. College isn't for everyone, and it shouldn't be billed for everyone.
Right. And I mean, it's not cheap. It costs a ton of money.
Yeah.
And so if you're not actually like driven, that's just like when, there's a lot of people that push their kids into like club sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I mean, do whatever is right for your family. But like for me, if my son doesn't show an incredible God-given talent that he truly enjoys doing, like if the joy's not behind it, I'm not going to push him to play club baseball because then he'll end up resenting it.
Yeah.
If he's naturally good at it, that's one thing. Let's do the club baseball. Let's do all those things. But I don't know why I'm talking about.
No, I know. I think that's actually. I mean, like I'll tell you. Like I was actually having that conversation with somebody the other day, because like we've never pushed our kids into sports.
Yeah.
And like I played a ton of sports when I was a kid. I played them all the way up through high school. Probably could have played in some smaller colleges. It wasn't that great, but did a lot of work in that area. And like my wife and I are just kind of like, if they're interested in it, like we'll let them pursue it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I'm not, like why take away from my family time?
Mm-hmm.
Like where I'm spending my entire Saturday, probably most of my Sunday, a lot of weeknights, like where we're just not having dinner together.
Yeah.
Well,
we've got some friends, Summer and Dore, that have a son, Sebastian, and he is an incredible ball player. Right. And he gets genuine joy. Like you can see it on his face. I have no doubt that kid lives and dies for baseball.
Yeah.
And that's how they live.
That's great.
They're taking him all over the place and, batting practice at this time and hitting practice at this. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah.
But that's what brings the kid joy. And he's truly natural at it. So why not do that?
Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Play as much baseball as you want.
Yeah. But like I went to a small private school. And so I could go play any.
You got to do everything, right?
Yeah, like it was okay. It's basketball season. Let me remember how I shoot a hoop, and let me go play football. And we could do all that because it was such a small school,
right?
But had I gone to like a public school, I probably wouldn't have made a single team at all. I played football forever because I'm 6'1" and fairly big guy, but I never enjoyed the sport.
Right.
Yeah.
And then finally, when I switched high schools, my before my junior year, and I had also hurt my neck pretty significantly, I was like, I'm done with football.
Yeah.
You know who goes and sits in all the bleachers at the football games? The girls.
Sure.
So I can go hang out with the girls.
There you go.
Everybody else is out there getting their heads knocked around.
That's good.
That's exactly the reason I took aerobic kickboxing in college.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice. Aerobic
The ratio was like 1 to 50.
And you were the one.
Those are good odds.
How's your kicks?
They're not so great.
It didn't
But
come
I can
to
take
me.
I can take somebody to dinner like nobody's business.
Yeah. He can take a kick. He knows how to take a kick. All right. Well, here's the thing. With all of our first-time guests, and I say that with sincerity because I expect this is probably going to happen again sometime down the road. So with all of our first-time guests, we have to do something very, very special. It's the thing that everybody that listens to our podcast is most waiting for and looking forward to. Everybody that's still listening, they're waiting for this moment, right, Craig?
Absolutely.
And this is the Final Four.
The Final Four.
That's right. These are the Final Four questions we ask each and every one of our guests.
I'm so glad it's the Final Four.
Yes.
No, I was worried that you were going to like make me, I don't know, hold a live chicken or something. I don't know. So I didn't know where we were going with this.
Well, there's no chickens here. If we were at your mom's house,
We could get some chickens.
yeah, we could get them. We just don't have them.
I say do that for the next new guy.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if we could have a chicken
Well,
in the studio.
I don't know. There used to be chickens in the studio.
That's true. For those of you that don't know, the studio used to be a chicken coop.
There you go.
Nice.
Exactly. We're speaking of before we get to the Final Four real quick. My son wants chickens now,
Nice.
and our realtor Brandy, who's awesome, she gave us a gift whenever we closed yesterday.
Right.
It is a egg gathering apron. This says Hackett's Fresh Farm Eggs.
That's
on it.
awesome.
You know, Cowboy Jack made an episode with Chicken Girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Chicken Girl's a elementary teacher out of Dripping Springs, Texas,
Ah.
and she wrote this book called Chicken Girl, which is actually about her life.
Okay.
And every copy of her book, she donates some of the proceeds to Coops for Troops, which is it's a nonprofit organization that helps veterans, set up their first chicken coops to where they're self-sufficient.
That's so cool.
Really cool.
That is
Chicken
so
Girl.
cool.
Chicken Girl. The book is on Amazon. Check it out.
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
We need
Chicken Girl.
Can we
It's
link
on
that up in the
Amazon.
show notes?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely do.
mainly because I want to know what it is because I'm not kidding. That it was her comment was, now you have to get chickens so you can get the eggs.
That's right.
that you can put in the apron.
Did you say her name?
Yeah, her name is Bonnie Trebet Rosario.
Okay. So if you search by that name, and
If you search Chicken Girl
on Amazon?
Chicken Girl Bonnie Trebet Rosario, it'll pop up.
okay, does the book sales actually go towards the nonprofit as well?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and or you can search YouTube for Cowboy Jack Chicken Girl.
There you go.
And you can-
Okay.
We're gonna do that. We're actually gonna do that at my house.
But it was
for
really
that
cool
reason.
because I had never done a book reading episode before, and I'm not the best, read out loud person.
Right.
I like to make up my own words, and it makes my wife furious with me. But Bonnie,
Cousins with the Bush family. Is that the
nuclear. What? Anyways, Bonnie sent me clips that she made at her coop and with her own chickens to incorporate into the reading that we made. So it came out really cool.
Nice. Well, I can't wait.
She's an awesome lady.
All right. Well, here we go. First question, the Final Four. What's the must-have tool you won't leave your house without?
Must-have tool I won't leave home without.
someone calls you, Cowboy Jack? We got a project. Won't tell you what it is. You're walking out the door. This is the tool you're taking with you.
Pretty much always have my pocket knife.
Oh, what you sporting?
Just a regular old timer.
Okay.
It's actually in my truck right now. And I told you I didn't get to drive my truck here. I drove my wife's car. Cowboy Jackmobile's in the shop.
I thought you said your name was John, not Craig. Because that was yours.
That was my answer. Yeah,
And it was an
pocket
old
knife.
timer too, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. It's not an old timer. Hang on.
It's a buck knife.
I got it right here.
It's a buck.
Well, I have a fancy, just something like that. I mean, I have.
It's a
Hang
buck.
on. I can't read the name on it. It's a Murray.
A Murray.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think that's what it says.
I don't actually have like a favorite. I just have lots of them.
Can you read
in
that?
various places.
Your eyes might be better than mine.
I doubt it. All right, let's see what we got here.
Cowboy Jack's a little bit younger than us. So you might want to hand it to him.
That says Mac.
This is like a really bad telephone game.
This is horrible. You've had it in your pocket.
See if
too
he can
long.
see it. I can't see it.
Yeah, look at him.
It starts with an M on the last
It's
name.
Mac something.
Mac.
I'm saying Henry. Mac Henry.
I think it is a Mac Henry.
That sounds
Mac.
right.
That's a classic Mac Henry right there.
Okay.
Mac Henry knife. It says Mac Henry knife whenever I Google it.
That was
So,
the answer. The
Mac
first time we
Henry.
did the very first, was that the first episode we ever did?
It was.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, well, that was 190 episodes ago, so it's a long time. All right, well, congratulations. You're a fourth of the way through. Okay, so here we go. Second question. You ready?
Ready.
What's a job you walked away from? Now, I will qualify it and say it just this way. We were thinking about like maybe a job you were working on at your house, a project you were working on at your house, and it didn't work out well, so you had to call in a professional, something like that. However, a lot of people will go with a career because we're not changing the wording. What's a job you walked away from?
I'll stick with your original
Okay.
because I have my wife will appreciate this. Every call it every 5 years or so, we'll get the idea to paint, and I think I'm a great painter in my head, and I like to do it after work. So before our daughter was born, I had the bright idea. I'm going to paint the whole interior of the house. Get it one color so we can start doing what we want to do with it.
Right.
And man, I stayed up really late. I'm talking like 3, 4 in the morning painting, sneaking around, being quiet so my son doesn't wake up while I'm painting.
Nice.
And I'd be so proud of it. I'd go to bed. My wife would wake up first thing in the morning and be like, that looks terrible. So I called in a painter.
Oh, nice.
And I will never attempt to paint anything ever again.
That's sad. I will tell you, it's funny you say that because the house that we just sold, it was kind of weird. It's the first time this had ever happened. When we closed on that house, it was us and the sellers in one room doing it all at the same time. And the wife was sitting there making fun of her husband. She was like, I'm pretty sure we painted every room in the house because he just likes to paint. He's like, hey, yeah, I like painting. She goes, the problem is he sucks at it. He's really horrible.
So I actually find it relaxing. I'm just terrible at it. And I'm finally at the point where I'll admit I am the worst painter. I've got a great painter. I don't know why I didn't call him in the first place. He laughed at me when I did call him.
That's funny.
He was just over the other day. We painted some
All
other
right,
stuff.
so I have a funny painting story for you guys.
All right.
So I got a call one time from a customer, and it was a wife, and she called me and she said, I need you to get over to my house right now. There are bugs all over the inside of my house.
Oof.
And I said, what's going on? She goes, I'm not home. My husband's there. He said that there are pink bugs crawling all over him.
Pink.
And she goes, he says that they're everywhere in the house, and I'm freaking out, and I'm out of town, and I don't want to come in home because he's saying that the inside of the house is completely infested with these bugs. He says they're everywhere. They're crawling all over him. They're all over the inside of the house. How soon can you get there? And I was like, I'm on my way. So I get out to the house, and like, let me also back this up. She tells me my husband's gone to the hospital because he's been bitten by all these bugs, and my neighbor's going to meet you to let you into the house. So, like, I'm all geared up. Like, I'm in my Ghostbusters gear at this point, right? Like, I'm ready for battle. So I show up to the house, and I meet the neighbor, and I talk to the neighbor for a second. I ask how everybody's doing. She's like, he seems to be fine. He's at the hospital. Cool, no problem. She goes, well, you can go in through the garage right there. I open the garage, and as soon as I open the door, I just get hit in the face with fumes.
Oof.
Paint fumes. Dude. And so, like, I go inside, and, like, I've got, like, a ventilator on and all this kind of stuff. And, like, I see that he is, like, literally, like, passed out in the living room, painting the entire inside of the house. And the house is just full of fumes. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, there's not a single bug in this house.
No, he's high.
That dude's hallucinating.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's totally high.
Man.
Wow.
And so, like, it was just paint fumes is all it was.
Jeez.
And so like I had to, and
You had to charge him a service call.
there were other, I think there
I
were.
found a roach.
Well, you say that. I'm going to say this. I think there were other elements involved in the situation
Sure.
that were mixed. There was a cocktail of things.
There was paint and
that were affecting the mind that I discovered upon investigation.
Interesting.
So, yeah. But yeah, paint fumes aren't
Were they
good.
of the fungus variety?
You know, that could have been there as well.
Okay.
There were many things.
Interesting.
And so like then I had to like call the wife and be like, I don't know how to explain this to you, but there's nothing wrong with the inside of your house.
Except the person inside your house.
The problem has left the building.
in handcuffs, oddly. But wow.
So
That's a good story.
anyway,
Thank you.
no names were used though.
No, none.
That's a really good story.
That's a really good story. I like it.
So anyway,
Yeah, that's good. All right. Third question.
but that didn't happen when you were painting, though, right? That wasn't you.
No.
Okay.
No. Well ventilated.
Cowboy
of
Jack
course.
would
That's
never.
not the reason he was really bad at it.
I may have had to drink a lot of beers after my wife pointed out how terrible my work was.
Yeah.
It was a hard pill to swallow for about 30 minutes until I realized how terrible it really was.
And what pill she was giving you. Anyway, all right. Next question. How do you wind down at the end of a long day?
Ooh, we don't.
It just rolls on.
No, I mean it's because I have the regular job, so I do my regular job, and then at the end of the day we get the kids to bed, and then we pick up and start doing Cowboy Jack.
Yeah.
And so we end up with some pretty late nights, but when it's all said and done, I mean, we did get a new bed, and there's nothing like putting your head down on the pillow.
Yes.
That's something I had to learn to, like, as an adult. Like, you have to intentionally go to sleep sometimes. And just like telling yourself it's bedtime, go to sleep.
Yeah, there's no one making you.
Yeah. Because I used to have really bad insomnia. I'd stay up until 2, 3 in the morning all the time without purpose, just watching television.
Yeah.
Now we don't even we haven't turned on the TV in our room or even in the living room for us probably in 6 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, like,
Don't get me wrong, we're still staring at screens. It's computer screens and cell phones, but
you're actually making something.
yeah, we're bringing value to somebody somewhere. So
Yeah. Cool. All right. Last question. What's one of the best pieces of wisdom or advice that you've ever received?
ooh, I really like, so this is weird, but this has always stuck with me. And I just posted the other day, like, give me random advice. And a lot of things came out, and there was so much cool advice that came out. But one thing, like one of my favorite musicians, and this is silly, but take it, listen to it. It's real. Ray Wiley Hubbard,
Ray Wiley Hubbard.
big Texas musician. He's about as cool as they come. If you've never heard Ray Wiley Hubbard, he's got a real gravelly voice. He makes, I wouldn't even call
know
it
that dude.
I wouldn't even call. He sings "Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother." That was like the song that everybody knows, but he's got really awesome songs. Like he's got a very broad and expansive catalog of music that he's made over the years. But one of the things he says at the end of one of his songs is, "Keep your attitude higher than your expectation." I mean, keep your gratitude higher than your expectations, and you'll have really good days. And so I try to live by that. Just like, hey, just celebrate the wins and make sure that you're appreciative of what you have before you go judging what I don't have and stuff like that. So
That's good.
keep your gratitude higher than your expectations.
Nice.
That's really good. I
Yeah.
hadn't heard that one before.
I had neither. We've
It's
heard.
it's a really cool song. Is
that the name of the song?
No, the song is actually like kind of like a biography of his life. It's called Mother Blues.
Okay.
And it's about a nightclub that he kind of grew up cutting his teeth on guitar at when he was a young man.
Okay.
And he met his wife, who was the door girl when she was only 16. And it wasn't a nice place, but it tells about how his son ended up with his guitar. And it's a really cool story song.
It's cool.
But another awesome musician.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know if y'all have heard it. We just got it recently. There's an Austin musician, a Texas country, Texas everything guy. His actual name is Kevin Russell, but his band is called Shiny Ribs.
Huh,
And
not heard of them.
he is an incredible musician, and he did me a huge favor by making us a Cowboy Jack theme song.
That's cool.
Nice.
It's so cool because it like me and my son like to jam his song in the truck. He's got this song East Texas Rust, and it's just a great beat. Like it's just like you can't help but tap your foot to it. He's real eclectic. Like he does like blues. He plays a lot of accordion, all kinds of stuff. He's just like the granddaddy of cool.
Well, and he's got like, I'm looking at him right now. He's got a very colorful wardrobe.
Oh yeah, man. No, he had when he played on Austin City Limits, he wore the Firefly cloak, is what he called it.
Oh, nice.
It has what do you call it? Fiber optic LED like lights all around it. And he was up there singing the song, and it's just blasting color all over the place. There's a picture of it right there.
Which one? That one right there? Oh,
Yep.
dude, that is sweet.
So if it's cool and eclectic, man, that's him.
That's awesome.
What's the name of the song that you really like?
By Ray Wiley Hubbard or by
Shiny Ribs.
By Shiny Ribs. East Texas Rust.
East Texas Rust.
He's got another really catchy one called Poor People's Store.
Uh-huh.
And it just talks about like how you go to like a fiesta or something and they got everything.
Nice.
It's a really cool song.
Well, we're now down rabbit hole, which is fine.
I'm sorry. You asked me these 4 questions.
I'm not asking you to be sorry at all because I'm kind of digging this right now. So, that's
you need
great.
any more life advice? I got a
Probably.
lot of stuff.
Probably.
Don't forget to rotate your tires.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one, actually.
the adult version of Cowboy Jack.
This version sucks.
If you're wearing slacks, put lotion underneath your dress socks and you'll never have static. Did you know that?
No.
Lotion under your...
Lotion your legs before you put your dress socks on.
Uh-huh.
You will never have static in your pants.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like shocking people.
It's that's one that this old timer salesman taught me when I first got into my line of work and just like living out of hotels and stuff. That's a good one.
That's awesome. Well, we do have one final question, actually.
Secret question.
It's a secret question, and it's the only one that Craig gets to ask.
It's the only one I can remember.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here you go, Craig. You have the floor.
Thank you. If people want to find Cowboy Jack, what's the best way to get a hold of him or to find your content?
Go on YouTube and just search Cowboy Jack, and we immediately pop up. You can't miss me. I'm always wearing a blue pearl snap and this vest, and of course my cowboy hat that I'm not wearing tonight. But we're real active on social media. Just search Cowboy Jack on Facebook. We're there.
Are you guys only on Facebook?
No, we do. I'm not very good at Instagram.
Yeah,
I know
who is?
Instagram is like the cool new thing that
Yeah.
I guess I need to quit acting like a grandpa for it because I got to get hip with it. But
They can find you on there as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Heck, we're even on Reddit.
Nice.
I don't know how to use it, but we're on it.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. Hey, doesn't matter if you know how to use it as long as you're there.
Why not?
Eventually, you'll figure it out, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Cool, man.
cool. Well, thank you very, very much for
Thank y'all for
coming
having
on the
me.
show, man. It's been an absolute blast, and I'm going to go learn more about chickens.
We're gonna
And-
take it out with some music recommendation by Cowboy Jack.
Okay,
by
let's
the way.
do it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Hopefully we don't get banned or shut down by Shiny Ribs.
Hopefully
No.
not.
Shiny Ribs will love it. Shiny Ribs is a
All
great
right,
guy.
cool. Bring it.
We're trying to here.
All right. Well, in the meantime, if you haven't already, like our show, subscribe to it. Thank you for listening. We absolutely love the fact that you're here with us. Tell your friends about us.
I will.
Click the subscribe button. Do all the things.
Is this the right song?
Yeah, that's it.
This is great.
Time to waste
All right, y'all.
It does sound good.
If
It does.
you're fooling,
Until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.
I'm advocating a mutual grazing, a face-to-facing. I'm advocating